Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio. You know, there's always a time in a military career where it's time to hang it up. And the individual I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today did that in December of 2013, but he didn't quit. Since 2016, he's been a management analysis for the United States Air Force at Robins Air Force Base, Georgia. He is a huge supporter of the Aircrew Life Support and Flight Equipment Retiree Organization. In fact, he is the past president of that organization. I have known Bill for a lot of years. He is a straight shooter in dealing with issues, as well as the kind of individual that strikes a common balance to make sure that people are heard. He always took care of his troops. He always takes care of the aircrew. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to you, Mr. Bill Ricketts. Well, we're here today at the 61st SAFE Symposium with Bill Ricketts. Senior Master Sergeant, retired. You and I go back many, many years. Thanks for taking the time and stopping over and having a chat. So one of the things that we're doing is we're getting everybody's story. So what I'd like you to do is, how about tell us a little bit about your Air Force career? When you started, when you ended, what you do now?
The third time today, but I reminisce because I started out here at Langley Air Force Base in 1984.
Okay.
In the 48th FIS, working on F-15 A's and B's and T-33s. Little kid from Indiana, they sent him to Virginia Beach. Couldn't have been happier with the Air Force if they'd have paid me more money to go there. I loved it. I loved every minute of working there. About a year after I got there, I got PCA'd over the first tack. I don't know if you remember Wayne Sandiford.
Yep.
I swapped with Wayne, and I went and worked for Jerry White and Terry Spalding in the 94 TFS. Again, working in the show squadron was interesting because the 4 stars all flew with you, and you got really used to real quick. Not rank didn't really mean a lot. So, but it was good stuff. I loved it. A couple years after being here, I went over to RAF Bentwaters and worked A-10s. Met my lovely wife there. Loved that job. Worked for Mark Jones and Barry Cuffey.
That's where you and I met.
First time.
Yep.
Because you knew Mark from other days.
Yep.
And so we were there and learned a lot about not just working on the equipment, but how to network and how to talk to other people. Because, you know, we were still kind of stovepipers. I worked at 15s, you worked at A-10s, or whatever you worked on. But you got to meet the people from Bitburg and Spang and Shaw, not Shaw, Hahn, and then the other A-10 bases. So you got to go around and see a lot of things. Then they closed our base. Brad came around and said, "Hey, Bentwaters, we don't need you anymore." Big shame because I love that base. And I went to McCollum, B-1Bs there. Then in KC-135s and stayed there for a little longer than I should have. Had 2 assignments, promoted myself out of both of them. Worked with some great people. Worked with one of your boys right there. Worked with Randy Rose there. Larry Settle worked for me there. Steve Skaggs came in and did a SAB on us one day. And it's probably, you remember Carl Wicker?
Oh, yeah.
Carl was our superintendent. And brought him in. And I prided myself on the office work being miraculous. Great. So I'm sitting there, we're doing the stuff. He's looking at everything. You know, gear's the gear. As long as you follow the TO, it's going to be good, right? I had good guys working with me, a lot of good airmen who really cared, wanted to do the right thing, and really atypical personalities because they always tried to outdo each other. So I had some really good-looking gear, good stuff. But the office stuff, I took care of myself. The supply program, the OGT program, in fact, people borrowed my OGT program because I thought it was important. OGT was, we can't do anything without a good OGT program. Like, Steve Skaggs walked around all day with my supply binder in his hand. He picked it up, kept looking at it, walked around with it, and finally when we get to do our one-on-one outbrief, he said, he goes, "Bill, I've been doing this about 20-something years. It's the first time in my life I picked up a supply binder and I couldn't find something wrong with it. I looked all day long. I said, "Thanks, Chief. Can I have it back?" And he said, and then the outbrief went, and then about 3 weeks later, I got a call from him saying, "Hey, look, Rick Murray's getting ready to retire or leave the IG team. I need an IG guy." So, ipso facto, I'm at Scott doing IG stuff. He didn't tell me that 9/11 they stopped doing guard inspections. So I had to pick up 288 days the first year, just trying to catch everybody. And again, brought Larry Settle too, but we did all those inspections in that year just to get them all caught up. Then my wife said, Steve left. Steve White came in. He said, "Hey, you're going to have to move." I had a kid, a senior, a junior, and a freshman.
Yep.
If they were all freshmen, I'd have said, "Sure." I'm not taking my kids out so every time. Then I went into civil service. Now I'm the president of the AFE ALS Retirees Association. Always looking for members. I mean, I know you're a big contributor. Don't know me wrong. I'm not trying to prophesize.
No.
You got your job and you help us. But if anybody out there sees this, we really need, I'm saying younger people, but it's from, you did 4 years, you did 2 years, you're a corporate sponsor, whatever. Come on in and be part of us because we need the support. We got like everything else, we got an aging leadership role, and that's going to happen. And it's going to go.
No, I totally agree. You know, we had the event the other night, and I appreciate your invite. And,
got our event tonight too.
Yeah,
I'm hosting that for you all tonight.
Yep.
Please come by and have some food and a couple of beverages. Tell your war stories. There I was.
There I was. Well, tonight, you know, here at this event, starting at 5:30, we're going to be celebrating 70 years, and you're all part of here for the day.
Yeah, well, that's part of what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're hosting that from our group level.
Yep.
For you all to have a show that we are. So I'm still appreciative for every day I spent in AFE. I tell everybody all the time that if they call me now and say, "Shave the beard up, put the uniform back on, give me a couple weeks to do some push-ups," I'd come back in a minute just to do it because I enjoyed that job. I couldn't think of a better, more rewarding job in the Air Force than what we did.
So what is it that made you really think about life support at the time and solidify how that made you go, I'm going to do this, I'm going to become that lifer?
Because first when I came in, if they said you could sign up for 20 years right there, I probably would.
Okay.
I always wanted to be in the Air Force. I don't know why I'm calling I wanted to do it. But, we lost an F-15, sucked in a seagull, a pelican, and the pilot went down. And at the time I was working for Jerry White. Everybody came in, they grabbed books, he said, "Get on these carpets," and they walked out. 3 days later, he came back in the shop. He was a little sore. He thanked everybody, put some beer on the counter. But his wife came in and hugged every one of us. And she goes, "I thank you for my husband's life because he told me if you didn't do this." Now, we didn't correct her that we didn't actually do the ejection system. We made the first sure the parachute worked. We made sure the ejection seat worked. We make sure, because everything worked as advertised. It was like one of those aha moments. Everything worked like it was supposed to. No Murphy's Law involved.
Yep.
And he made it out. He was a little sore, but he said, if I hadn't listened during training, if I hadn't listened, when I got in the water, your brain isn't thinking what they tell me. You're thinking, "Oh God, I got to get in the raft. I got this," and everything was where it needed to be. The Coast Guard found him pretty quick. He brought him back home. And he goes, it was instinctive. And that made me right there saying, if one person we can save some person's life every time. That was, to me, is what made me want to do this forever and give everything I had to. You know, that's my wife. There was times, because obviously I'm being here till 8 o'clock and we got to get something done.
Yep.
And I had to work weekends, or we had to go on this deployment or that TDY or whatever. And she was like, "Why do you have to go?" Because it's my job. And that's why. I mean, I haven't met anybody who either made senior NCO and stayed as long as they could stay that didn't go, I'm here because I enjoyed what I did. And I did. I enjoyed being an officer. I enjoyed being in working with the pilots. I mean, like anybody, I watched a little bit. Okay, got that. So see you later. But I enjoyed that work, and I enjoyed the sense of accomplishment because they had to use our stuff, and our stuff had to work, or they would, had to go out and fix it, or they couldn't do their flight. And I don't remember any time in my career, anybody I worked for, that we ever lost a flight due to AFE. It was because our stuff was always ready. I like that. I think that's what I wish I could bottle that and sell it to the world.
It would go a long way, a huge long way.
And then there's like y'all now that do what you do. You keep the Air Force, I'd say honest, but hey, this is what your equipment's looking like. And we got this new stuff, and I'm your Lorax to these companies telling them what you need. And I tell the companies, this is what they need. They don't need a new G-Wiz-It. They need something that works for them now.
Absolutely.
Because, the stuff we had back in the day, it worked. It wasn't the best out there. And though it worked. And then we had, partners, industry partners that sold us stuff that was way over advanced, way over what we needed. And we didn't have anybody telling them what they needed. Because our chiefs went out there talking to these corporate partners, not picking. They were doing their command jobs. But we have you guys, we have your company, used to be Bill Wood, even Mark Jones over at Gentex. Still thought, hey, Yeah, I'm selling product. This is what they really need. So,
No, it's about bringing common sense to reality.
that's true.
You know, and that's what it's all about. Understanding what the user does, understanding what the technician out on the line is expecting. How hard has it been? You know, those are the kind of things that we dance
And
through
what
every
the
day.
crew member needs.
You're
Does
absolutely
it
right.
fit? Does it work?
Fit,
Will I wear it?
form, and function.
Will I wear it?
You're
That's
right.
it. Like the big joke we used to tell everybody is that on the quick done. One size fits none. Because it does.
No, you're right.
You have to have the perfect face for that thing to seal perfectly. If you're a small person or a really huge person, you have to work for it.
No.
So that was the joke we used to tell. And now we're getting into that place where it is all about the individual.
It is.
And we have to take it that way. Because our only next step is manless.
Yep.
Drones, or everything.
So, you know, we're here at the 61st, and SAFE is our industry, and SAFE is the ones that are out there that are pounding the pavement to get everybody in talking together and working those relationships. How has it been in your past, what SAFE means, and why are you here with the retirees organization and SAFE this year?
Well, one, I pushed really hard without loving to kind of put the retirees group with SAFE, because when you're doing it on your own and you're trying to, but then we're getting it now. Did we get a great crowd this year? A little better than average, I think. But the deal is, everybody wants to know what's going on, especially if you've been away from the career field, retired for 10, 15 years. And this gives them an opportunity to see not just what the Americans bring, but what the Europeans bring to the career field, what we can buy. You get to see those things, you get to touch those things, you get to talk about the what ifs and what it was. Things I used to do, wow, that's way different than I worked on. And that's one of the big things. And as the president of the group, this is my last stick. I'm the ex-president after this week. Was I wanted to come back to remember. Because I remember going to the conferences and being along with these guys, having our AFE conferences, and how great those were. And I really think that I was just talking to one of the chiefs. We missed out on opportunities when we got in some trouble and some financial difficulties in the past. Doing that networking skills and being able to talk to somebody about problems I'm having. Well, they have the same problem. No, we fix it this way. Be able to talk that way. Because they don't get together. And it's a real shame. I mean, they do their superintendent's courses, and one person gets to go and learn this stuff, and then they go back and how do you network with the one person that you're with? You can't. So I'm hoping that tomorrow when we meet with the ACC people that we can maybe talk about in the future rolling something back together with SAFE, because I know next year the AFE reunions in Nellis, because they already voted on that without me being there. But I would say roll this in with SAFE as long as you can. It's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for people like you that have to work this and can't make it to the You get to see some of your old people and talk to them and get those kind of things. So I think it's a great thing. The career field's 70 years old this year. And been through the ringer. We went from being in the hospital to working in ops to maybe going to maintenance to bringing maintenance back to us to everything we've done to, in some cases, coming off the flight line if you're an ACC and staying on the flight line if you're AMC. So some of the things we used to do, we had to change the way we looked at business. Now we're a back shop in some cases versus the flight line workers doing our job.
Well, this morning, Steve Dawson, who started in life support, he's now a Colonel Select, was talking all about change and change, how it is affected through things. Because if we don't change now, we're not going to be ready for the next fight.
Well, sometimes we change for the sake of change.
That's right.
Because it's all secular. Because I've heard that some of the air staff put out that the squadrons want to put their AFE back in them, they can't. So why did we put them in the OSS in the first place? To put them back in the squadrons? Okay. Sometimes we change. In the old McPeak-isms about when staffing is going to go to the A staff if you want to do that. So, we did that in 91 and it didn't work. We're going to try it again? Okay, let's try it. So, I mean, it's just, I work at AMC headquarters, or AFRC headquarters. So you get a lot of the scuttlebutt that's going on. But it's just kind of strange how some things they change, but back to what we already did once. We're trying again.
Oh, yeah. So, Bill, always a pleasure seeing you. Thank you very much for your service. Thank you for taking on the retirees group and leading. We greatly appreciate it and being part of the dinosaur.
Yes, sir.
Sir, thank
you, Chief.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
you.